Welcome to the Carbonite Jedi, where we rediscover the wonders of Star Wars, the original trilogy and beyond. So let's have a Star Wars chat, why don't we? Let's talk about what's happening with the Rey movie. Excuse me, I've got coming over out of cold and my throat's like all wonky right now. But let's talk about the Rey movie. Do you think it's going to get done or not? They have stopped it and started it so many times that people are just it's just normal for people to think that, hey man, how's it going, want to join? uh, it's normal for people to become disillusioned with it after they get so many stops and starts. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think what's going to happen is the new guy that's coming in to do 10, 11, 12, um, Simon Kinberg, that's his name. Simon Kinberg, who they got to do 10, 11, and 12, he's going to come in and he's going to use Rey in his movies, the next trilogy movies. And Charmin Obey-Chinoy is going to be like stuck out because um, they're going to just stop production of this movie to cut costs. So I think maybe they will do that instead of having the Charmaine Obey-Chinoy make the Rey movie. And so we'll see what happens. It's a crapshoot right now. I mean, Disney's put so many things on the back burner these days. I'm shocked that the Skeleton Crew came out. I'm shocked that they're doing Andor. Well, maybe not Andor, but because so many people enjoyed Andor. But I'm shocked that they're bringing back another series, and it's Rogue Squadron. That's what it is. Rogue Squadron's coming back, and we'll see if that happens or if they put that back on the. Uh, they'll put that back on the back burner. Yeah, I'm not sure how much of Charmin Obey-Chinoy. I'm not sure how much of her uh, directing qualities will transfer to Star Wars. She's more on women's rights and stuff, and I'm just not sure. I mean, I know Kathleen Kennedy just she loves that stuff. But how does it transfer to Star Wars, and how do the fans react to it? I don't know. It's marshmallows in their hot. Well, it is the season. It's the Christmas season. Everybody loves marshmallows in their hot chocolate. But I just think that um, it'd be interesting to see what kind of direction and what she came up with. Yeah, she may make a good documentary, but this is Star Wars, correct? You know, and the original thing was Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi were all created by George Lucas from this old samurai movie series he used to watch, and they were told from the aspect of peasants that would follow this noble man, this noble samurai around. And these movies were supposed to be told from the perspective of R2D2 and C3PO. Well, mainly R2D2. So if you'll notice that, wherever anything happens in Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, or Return of the Jedi, R2D2 is there to document and record it. So I don't think that happened so much in the prequels, but the Star Wars is the one we're talking about. It's the one that matters. But yeah, so other stuff that's come out is the Skeleton Crew. What do you think about it? What do you think about Jude Law? Excuse me, sorry. What do you think of Jude Law I think he's a fantastic actor. I think he's done a great job. The kids are okay. I'm sure that hopefully they'll come into their own. I haven't watched this week's episode due to the Christmas hustle and bustle, but I'll get back on it and probably try to watch it tomorrow or Monday, and then do the Tuesday fun day. Well, that's New Year's Eve, so it's all up in the air right now. But I really enjoy the Skeleton Crew so far. I think the last episode 4, was kind of a bridge or a filler. So, I'll give him that. I'll give him a whiff, but hopefully it picks up after this. I just wonder if they're going to have to go to all the different planets that start with at and try to find their at-Aten planet, especially with that robot they got with them. That's a killer robot now, because their pirate, the guy before who owned that robot, told him to kill anybody who came looking for at-Aten. So we'll see what happens. But I see I have 2 people in chat. Anybody have any Star Wars questions or want to chat about anything Star Wars related? I'm going to do a video, and it talks about from the prequels on that basically only one Jedi killed a Sith the whole time. And I was thinking, I was like, man, that's hard to believe, but actually it's true. Only one Sith was killed during the prequel era and by a Jedi. So show me who you think it is that Sith that died, and who was the Jedi that did it. Also, I'm going to do a video on that, like I was talking about. And I've got some other things lined up along the way. What do I want to see happen in the new Skeleton Crew series? I want the girl who thinks that she's the captain to like eat a little humble pie. I mean, I think she did in this last one. She kind of broke down, to Wim, because she was, freaking out about how she thought she wasn't the captain, and she was getting everybody, almost dead. So I want her to have some humble pie. I want to see, it pick up, because this last one was kind of a flat series. I know they're probably gonna have to go to the other planets to try to find their home, but they got 4 more episodes to do that. So I don't know how many more planets they can get to within that time frame. I want to find out if Jude Law is really a Jedi or not. I think there's supposed to be a Jedi in the series. It kind of ruined it, because I saw in the character sheet somebody was holding a lightsaber. So I think that's what happened. Hey, Jason. I'm just talking Star Wars right now. Steve asked what I wanted to see on the Skeleton Crew. I want it to be fun, adventure. I want it to be exciting, like Goonies was, and Flight of the Navigator. That's kind of the excitement I had for it. And to be truthful, the first 3 episodes were kind of like that. They landed on that pirate asteroid, and they were, escaping prison and, breaking free from their captivity with that ship. And then they go see the owl lady on that moon. So I like that. And I hope that they can continue that, and find this treasure and why all these planets are hidden. And That's what I want. What do you guys in chat think about that? And what do y'all want to see? Let's see. Oh yeah, and I also hope they can fix that droid, because you don't want that droid like to try to kill you at every turn. You know, that's a bad thing to do. But yeah, the last episode, like I said, was kind of flat. You know, they found the kids on that planet that was torn up by war. So, and I'm trying to think what, episode 10, 11, and 12 might entail, because it's going to be probably 15 to 20 years after the Rise of Skywalker. So, I mean, are they going to have Charmin Obe-Chinoy do her Rey movie that's supposed to be 10 to 15 years after, and then immediately have 10, 11, and 12? Or is it just going to be 10? Is it going to be just 10, and then that's going to be the Rey movie, basically? I don't know. It's just so much stuff, and Disney just like keeps piling it on, and then they go back and they have to do damage control and withdraw all these movies, and after they started, and I like the first Star Wars. That was the best one. I watched it when I was a kid. I have to agree with you, Jason. It holds a lot of meaning to me too. What was it about the first Star Wars that you saw that you liked the most? And Steven, what do you want to see on the Skeleton Crew? Love to see Elephant. Love to see Elephant Boy all of a sudden pull out 2 red lightsabers and find out he was actually like 120 years old. He never grew taller, his voice never changed. He was sent to find the treasure posing as a kid. Oh my gosh, that would be awesome. That'd be so hysterical. It'd be awesome if he pulled out 3 lightsabers, 2 with his hands and 1 with his trunk, He would be a triple threat. That'd be so good. Oh my gosh. Jason, when I saw Star Wars, I was really little, and it just blew me away when I saw it. The music, Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker in each scene. Yep. It just, those were fantastic moments. Who was the bad guy? Who was the good guy? There was no, all this confusion about all this stuff. There was no politics in it. It was just a straightforward, fantasy prince and princess. The young peasant boy saves the princess, and he takes her away, and then he destroys the big monster, which was the Death Star. So yeah, it was everything. George Lucas, his wife, who edited the movie, she did a fantastic job. I think if she would not have edited the movie, it would have been a flop. It might have been okay, but it wouldn't have been the Star Wars we know today. He was going to take out the Force, because all of his director friends like Martin Scorsese and all these other directors told him that the Force was stupid and he should take it out. And the only person that told him not to was Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg told George, he's like, that's a fantastic idea, So he kept it in. Well, his wife kept it in, actually, because he was, on the fence. and he didn't know if he was going to keep it in or not. So his wife kept it in. They redid all the shoot. Well, they didn't redo the shoots. They edited all the stuff and made it what it is today. I know. Imperial March used to scare me when I was a kid because I could never get Darth Vader's mask out of my mind. Yeah. His mask, he scared me too. One thing I was going to talk about is when I was a kid, I didn't know if the stormtroopers were robots or not. I mean, if you go back and think about it, they never took their helmet off in Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, or The Empire Strikes Back. You never see their faces. And I always thought maybe that Darth Vader was like a part robot also, or he was part robot, but I mean, I didn't know if he was a robot or not either. So it kind of weirded me out that they had all these stormtroopers that I didn't know if they were like human or not during the whole movie. And it was really weird, trying to figure out, are these real people or not? So Steven Spielberg, he carried the dinosaurs. I love the song Jurassic Park. Yep. That was done by the guy who did Star Wars. He did the theme to Jurassic Park too. Vader is one of the greatest villains of all time, period. He is. I think he's awesome. I mean, whenever you say Darth Vader, my first thought comes to the image of the beginning of Star Wars where he walks through the door of Princess Leia's ship. And then you get that whole part where he's choking the dude. He lifts him up, asking for the Death Star plans. Hey Kyle, how's it going? I was just chatting about Star Wars, and Jason was talking about how Star Wars, the original one, is his favorite, and then Stephen was talking about how in this Stephen was talking about in the Skeleton Crew, he hopes that the little elephant boy, I forget his name, hopes that he comes out with red lightsabers as a Sith to find the treasure. So how are things going for everybody tonight? Well, thank you, Kyle. Hope you did too. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas. And I think y'all have Boxing Day or something in Canada. I know they have it in the UK, but something called Boxing Day. I'm not sure what that is. I just know you wear little paper crowns or something during Christmas when you pull these crackers. Anyway, getting back to Star Wars. What are my thoughts on Skeleton Crew? Well, Master Qui-Gon, I like it so far, except for the 4th episode. It was more of a filler, and it's more of a filler than anything else. I think I hope it gets more picked up and as it goes along. The kids need to get their acting chops more going better. So we'll see what happens as time goes by, but they only have 4 episodes to go. So I'm hoping that something magnificent happens. It's probably not going to be The Mandalorian. So I have not seen episode 5 yet. No. Have you seen episode 5? I'm hoping episode 5 is good. 26th of December is Boxing Day. I'm taking it. Salty Texas Ranger. Oh, yes, it gets better. Oh, good. I'm probably going to try to do a live movie watch on next week. So it might not be on the day it's released, since that'll be New Year's Eve, but maybe a couple days after. So thank you, Stephen. I appreciate it. Yeah, if you're interested in joining, I'd love to have you as a member. I have lots of perks, so join my channel, and may the force be with you. Oh, wow. The best one so far. Wow. I mean, in episode 1, when the pirates were attacking that ship, I thought that was pretty fantastic. But if it's better on episode 5, I can't wait to see it. I think, yeah, it's got to get better. I mean, Jude Law, man, he's carrying this show, and I wonder if they're going to have any, surprise guests like C-3PO or something show up. But it'd be cool if they had Luke show up finding them. Yeah, I think, and then Andor. How many people are excited about the new Andor? Oh, good. I'm glad you're really liking the Skeleton Crew. My daughter loves a kitty bat owl creature. Yeah, she's and she can talk too, so that's a big plus. I liked it too. Andor. Yeah, Steve knows this. I wasn't a huge fan of the first season of Andor. I kind of lost interest in it 3 times, so I had to stop and start this whole series again, because Andor was just it just didn't hold my interest as much. I just I think that as it gets closer, well, actually, this is the last season of Andor. They were going to do 4 or 5 seasons, and they decided just to end it with this season right now. Let's see. More curious about season 2 more than, however, I love the prison episodes. And then Texas Ranger says the amount of time in prison was grueling. Well, I did find the prison scenes kind of, some were kind of caught my interest, but then it didn't. And, just watching all of them jump off that building into the ocean like a bunch of lemmings was kind of fun. Season 2 will have 2 or 3 different time jumps that will lead us to Rogue One. Yeah, I'm just curious how many characters from Rogue One will be in Andor season 2. I know they're going to bring in the robot. I forgot its name, but yeah, it'll be interesting. I think the director of the Death Star is supposed to show up there. I wonder if they'll have Darth Vader show up, because these are the rebels. So Halcyon Hotel looked like the rooms in the prison complex. I wonder who paid to sleep in that, man. That those looked uncomfortable. Did they have the water in the gruel that popped out of those nozzles? That's nasty. I don't know. Oh, that's it. K2SO. We'll meet K2, and the guy Andor escaped with will also join the rebellion. Yes, Krennic will return. Okay. Yep. That is crazy. That's why they shut that place down. $6,000 for 2 nights. at the Galaxy's Edge Hotel. Hey, Katie, how's it going? We're talking Star Wars. Got any questions? Give me a bucket. Just talking about Andor Season 2 right now, and our hopes and thoughts and desires for Season 2. We think, I heard Director Krennic will be there in K2SO. I'm not sure who else might be there. The guy who played Gollum, who was in the prison with him. I did not care for both seasons. I rewatched Andor a week ago, and I actually liked it better than before. Okay. I just the guy who worked for the corporation, who was chasing after the Imperial, that Imperial lady. I just couldn't. He got under my nerves. He was staying with his mom, and he kept eating those Cocoa Puffs things with blue milk the whole time. Yeah, Cyril. Yeah, he just drove me nuts. I think he's going to be turned into Snoke to line up with Disney trilogy. Who's going to be turned into Snoke? Huh. Well, Barry Tricks. Yeah, he'd sit there and his mom was so annoying. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Me and Steve were. Oh, okay. Steve and I were talking about how his mom was just his mom, and like the typical Italian mom, exactly, Master Qui-Gon. Yep. He got him a job with his uncle. Yeah. Everybody's got an uncle they can work with, so that's funny. So if the rate, are y'all excited about the Mandalorian and Grogu? I'm on the wall. I mean, if they would change the title of this movie, I would be so much happier. That is such a lame excuse for a name, the Mandalorian and Grogu. I mean, I want to see it. I'm going to go see it, but it's Salty Texas Ranger. I agree. It's long time in between these movies. I mean, 2019 since we had Return or The Rise of Skywalker. Gina Carrero, yeah, she's suing him with Elon's money, and I think she's winning too. And one of the things that she put into the lawsuit was that they had to hire her back to have her own episode and show. Yeah, so still in litigation, but man, once Disney heard that Elon was going to back her up, man, they got scared. So good for Gina. I hope she comes and gets her own show. She was supposed to be in a Rebel movie or some series she was going to do. So yeah, I think Stupid Lady's more for the fans who want her there. I bet. Yeah. As long as they don't, get a director who's like totally opposite thinking of Gina and it causes friction. Rangers, that's it. Rangers of the New Republic. Exactly. Yeah, I was upset that they had to cancel that. Yeah, and the bad thing about the TV shows are, they put in all this I mean, this money has been thrown into these TV shows when they can make this huge movie and put that out. Rian Johnson, please, no more Rian Johnson. He needs to stick with his Knives Out and stuff. Yeah, they could totally have these movies out there. I mean, Star Wars costs, the original Star Wars costs like, I don't know, 10, 15 million. I mean, in today's terms, that's probably what, 20, 25 million. Oh, I know. No Rian Johnson. But yeah, if they would just decide to do a quality movie, look what happened with Ryan Reynolds when he did the Deadpool movie. They were so set against him, and they tried to push and push and push to put all this other stuff in there. And Ryan said no, and now that movie is like blowing up. I mean, Deadpool 3 is fantastic. They need to take notes from that. So, but you know what? Kathleen Kennedy is not going to look at that and say, oh, that's something we should do. She'll probably look at it and go, no, we need to double down on what I'm doing right now. And then we'll, push it down people's throats. And that's what people don't like. It was infuriating when... Yes, exactly. I was so upset when Gina left. Acolyte cost... Yeah. Well, the Acolyte, when it came out, they said it cost 180 million. So they kind of like unpadded the monetary numbers, and then when it came out, it was way above. I didn't say it. South Park did. Yeah, I mean, right now Andor is at 260 million. So that's just crazy money. They could make 2 seasons. They could probably do 3 seasons with that total amount of money. I mean, where's it all going to? What do they need? I mean, does a prop boy need a prop boy to help him prop up stuff? And then that prop boy needs a prop boy or assistant, It's just crazy. Yeah. Real quick, everybody. Steve and I, Cravens of the Scary, and I have another channel called The Movie Bros React, and we're doing a live movie watch tonight at 10 o'clock p.m. Central, and it's called Blink Twice, and it looks like a fantastic movie, and Steve has told me that it is a fantastic movie. So if you want to join us then, I can put a link down below, and you can join us for our live movie watch. Both of us will be on, and we're going to watch this movie together. So yeah, it'll be at 10 o'clock p.m. Central tonight. Excuse me. I know, $650 million, man. Could you imagine how many shows and episodes that could go to these starving directors and producers? I mean, like I said, Star Wars was done on a shoestring budget of $10 million. And that was like so low back then. All right, Steve, see ya. Hey, Russell. What's up? Smash the luck. Thanks, Russell. I really appreciate it. After the... Yep. I have not seen Squid Games yet. I've heard it's good, but I have little kids in the house, and I don't want them to, be sneaking a peek when I'm trying to watch something like that. So good luck. Yeah. I just, when the Acolyte came out with, its costs, and, it like somebody said before, compared to Obi-Wan, which I absolutely loved. The only thing I would have done different is the my brain's messing up tonight. Not the investigators, not the interrogators. Hey Russell, it's streaming on Amazon Prime. Anyway, the bad guys on Andor. I mean Obi-Wan. That's what I'm trying to say. On Obi-Wan, I would have done away with the girl. It just seemed like she kind of drugged the series. I don't have anything against her. I think, for what she did a good job. But I just think that she was unnecessary. It should have been between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, which, it eventually ended up. But then you had this person that was kind of like a third wheel. So she just, I don't think she was necessary. So Russell, what do you think of the Skeleton Crew so far? We were talking about that earlier. A lot of people, everybody had positive things to say about it, and they said the 5th episode this week is really good. So I'm going to have to watch it pretty soon. Oh, and did everybody watch the holiday special for Christmas this year? You have to watch it. You have to make it your holiday tradition to watch the holiday special every year. I watched it like 2 or 3 years ago, and I think that was enough for me for another 10 years. Reva, yeah, she didn't do the best. I think that they could have gone in a different direction. And one thing that I really, really am disappointed to with Lucasfilm is they have so many legend material, so much material from the legends that they could have used. There's one where Luke gets tangled up with some people that are trying to collect taxes for Jabba the Hutt, and Obi-Wan has to step in, and then Jabba sends Chrysanthemum, the Black Wookiee, after him, and that's where Chrysanthemum gets that slash on his face. Excuse me. He gets that scratch on his face or cut. And then there's another one where one of the sand people, they were a former Jedi, and they turned to the dark side, and then Obi-Wan and him have to, fight each other. So, I mean, there's so much stuff that they could have done. A lot of people are like, oh, well, you shouldn't mess with Obi-Wan because Star Wars is about to happen. You don't want to cause any of these, loopholes. And I don't think so. I mean, it's all in Legends, and it kind of like lines up to the time when he goes with Luke to, the Death Star. So I hope it's better than episode 4 was. Yeah, episode 4 was kind of slow and mind-numbing. So I'm hoping so too. I'm going to watch it. Yeah, me too. I liked seeing it. It really took me back to Star Wars. You see the homestead, and I mean they showed it in Attack of the Clones when Anakin goes back to find his mom, and then they show the Lars homestead in Obi-Wan too. So yeah, it was really neat. I mean, you get to see all of it in Star Wars basically, except for their sleeping quarters, but where they eat and their little atrium area out in the middle. And I've heard that they've turned that into a hotel, so you can actually go and stay there if you want. Same with Tosche Station, Look, it was cool seeing Cammy and Fixer. Yep. So if you take a look at some of the deleted scenes from the actual Star Wars, there's one where Luke goes to Tashi Station and he goes inside and he's talking to Biggs, and they go out to look at Princess Leia's ship as it's being right after it was attacked by the Star Destroyer. So that was pretty cool seeing all that. But, you know, I see why they took it out. It would have made the movie drag. So we should have a watch party for episode 5. Yeah, we could. I'll talk to some people and see what they say. But I really appreciate everybody who's come by to chat about Star Wars. It makes me happy. And if you haven't seen my last video, I just did a video on it was the Marvel adaptation and the novel. Oh, cool. On my last video, I did one about my 3D printer I got, and I printed out a black Stormtrooper helmet, and it came out fantastic. Let me grab it real quick. So yeah, I'm super stoked about this. The top is a little rough. I need to put some Bondo on it and rub it out. But yeah, I like showing it off. I mean, it did fantastic on the printer. My helmets. And then my wife, she bought me a Luke's Red 5. Red 5 helmet. I always see people with this on the, you know, in the background of their shelves and stuff. And I've always wanted one, and it fits. Yeah, I love it. So if I print my own X-Wing helmet, I want to make it look like the guy from The Mandalorian. I cannot remember his name. I'm having a hard time with names tonight. How durable is that Stormtrooper? It is. It's hard plastic. It's super durable. Yeah, I've. I mean, it probably wouldn't stop a bullet, but I mean, I mean, if you got cushion in it and somebody hits you over the head with a frying pan, you probably wouldn't feel it. But I want to make another X-Wing helmet, but I want to do it with the colors of the guy who was in The Mandalorian. His were blue and yellow. And I think that would be cool because I can get all the stickers off of Etsy. They have all the stickers and the visor and stuff like that. No, I'm not talking about not Favreau. No, I'm talking about the Asian guy. Yeah. Why am I having such a hard time tonight, man? Maybe I'm sleep deprived. Man. It's Dave Filoni, yeah. No, you're not talking about Jon Favreau. You're talking about Dave Filoni. Yeah, Dave Filoni was he was the X-Wing fighter, but X-Wing pilot in Mandalorian. It was Paul Sun-Hyu Lee. Yeah, there he is. Let me share this real quick. This guy right here. I would love to create a helmet like his too. Hey, Destin, what's going on? So yeah, that helmet right there. Hey, Destin, we're going to be watching Blink Twice tonight at 10 p.m. Central on the Movie Bros React channel. So uh, come join us, man. Get a hold of Steve. Let him know you want to join us. So yeah, that'd be cool to have that kind of helmet. Also made a mask. Hold on. Whose mask is this? Russell, you probably already, I think you already said who it was, so you don't have to answer. It's supposed to be silver with red on it. If you have any ideas, let me know. John Goodman. I'll let you know later if you haven't figured it out. So, Destin, have you watched any of the? No, close. Not the Royal Guard. Destin, have you watched any of the Skeleton Crew so far? Think Old Republic. Yeah. I'm going to see if anybody wants to do a live watch of episode 5. I know some of y'all in here have already seen episode 5. And then episode 6 comes out Tuesday at 7 o'clock my time, I believe, which is Mountain Standard. And then, yes, that's it. That's Revan's mask. It just didn't have the cape over it, you know? Good guessing. I just purchased some metallic red so I can make one of the Imperial Guard helmets like they used in Return of the Jedi that were beside the elevator when you walked into the Emperor's area or his tower. So yeah, I'm going to make one of those. Those look pretty neat. I'm looking forward to the movies. Yeah, I mean, I'm optimistically holding back. You know, I'm holding back my exciting feelings, but I'm optimistic for it, you know, unless they can this guy, this Simon Kinberg. You know, it seems like they've canned everybody. They brought in Charmin Obaid-Chinoy. They had writer. The thing I don't understand is in the Rise of Skywalker, what was the last thing? What was the last thing that Rey said? My name is Rey Skywalker. Now, from Disney and Lucasfilm, they don't want any mention of Skywalker in any of the films. They don't want any mention of Luke or Leia or Anakin or anything like that. And the whole 6 episodes are Skywalker, you know? They I don't know. They're just trying to like whitewash it to where there's no mention of any Skywalker. So, hey, Joe. Yeah, we were talking about it earlier. We are really liking the Skeleton Crew. Episode 4 was kind of a bland episode, but you know, I'm sure in a lot of series they have these one-offs, and a lot of people were saying that episode 5, which I haven't seen yet this week, is really good. So I can't wait to see what's going on with episode 5. And you know, there's only after 5, there's only 3 episodes left. So they have to do something. Hopefully, they'll get a second season if it ends on a good note, like The Mandalorian. Oh, nice. Yeah. I'm just riding the wave, hoping it's going to be like The Goonies or Flight of the Navigator. Those '80s coming of age movies. So I really enjoy it so far, and I hope the kids grow with their acting chops too. It's Kathleen Kennedy. I'm sure it is. I'm sure she wants to stick her nose in her finger and everything. And she should have been gone a long time ago. She just is wanting to go off on a high note, and everything she's doing is just failing. I think because Dave Filoni and the other guy, what's his name? I can't remember. They're doing the Skeleton Crew that, and it's more of a kids, episode that it's just, they're doing good so far. But if it was like more of an adult one, I think Kathleen would be all in it. It all depends on what they do. I was a little disappointed with Mando season 3. Yeah, I mean, season 3, I think they were trying to wrap it up in case it didn't come back. And I think that sometimes when they wrap up things like that, it just they push too hard, or they write it too fast, and they don't sit there and dig it out. So I can see where you're coming from, that it season 3 was not as good as the first 2 seasons. I mean, season 1 to me was absolutely fantastic, and season 3 it was on a down note from those 2 seasons. Oh man, the main girl that's in Acolyte is blaming all the fans. Well, I mean, I guess you have to, because if they're not watching, if they're not watching, they're you vote through your vote through your money. Like, if you don't like something, you don't buy it. And if you don't like something on movies or TVs, you don't watch it. So I don't think there's anything nefarious going on. I think the show just stunk. They had so much opportunity, and they had these little 25-minute episodes. I watched all the episodes because I tried to keep my mind wide open. And there were so many things that happened in the Acolyte. I don't want to get into it. It makes me upset. They spent all that money on that show. Sadly, because Acolyte, so many people checked out, and the viewership is in the toilet. Yep. That's true. Left a little bit too much like a setup for what's next. It's still good. Season 2 is just incredible. And also, I think that one of the reasons I like The Mandalorian is because during the Book of Boba Fett, they kind of like extended Mandalorian. It was like season 2.5, because they had those episodes where the Mandalorian finds Grogu and he comes back to help Boba Fett. So I feel bad for the guy who played Boba Fett, because he kind of hijacked his show, because he only had like 8 episodes, and they hijacked his show for like 2 or 3 of them to give the Mandalorian his own, part. So I wish they'd come back with another Book of Boba Fett. I think they could do a lot. And if I was in charge of Lucasfilm, I tell you what I would do to bring back all the fans. I would have a oh shoot. I would bring back Samuel Jackson. He would be the man who would bring everybody back as um, the Jedi Master. I mean, you know, there's he didn't die. He didn't die in the prequels. I'm gonna die on that hill that he did not die when him and Anakin and the Emperor were fighting. So it's just crazy. He even said it himself. You know, Samuel Jackson. Couldn't do it. I stopped watching episode 3. Yep. A lot of people stopped. I mean, to me, I'm glad I watched the whole episode. But I mean, the whole series. Episode 5 to me was the best one. But then it just went down after that. The Book of Boba Fett and Kenobi get so much hate. I love Kenobi. Kenobi's my all-time favorite. Is Kenobi, then The Mandalorian season 1. And then the Book of Boba Fett was okay. Man, I wish they would do season 2. That is what I want. But like I said, if they could do a Mace Windu series, Samuel Jackson said he would come back in a heartbeat. He said Mace Windu's not dead, and he would come back. Mace Windu lives. And if they could bring him back, man, that would bring back so many viewers and so many fans. I just know it. If they did it right, maybe he and Boba Fett like have to team up to do something, you know, especially after Boba Fett got so mad at Mace Windu for killing his dad. But Obi-Wan goes to Dagobah to train with Yoda on the way to become a Force ghost, allows Liam Neeson to come back for a little more. You know, Liam Neeson said that he did not want to come back to Star Wars. And the reason he said is that because they're doing so much, it's just it's becoming too flooded with material, and it's just not like it was. So I don't know. I wish Liam Neeson would come back. He's such a great actor, but he just said that all the stuff that's going on with Star Wars right now, that they're just flooding it with too much stuff, and it's weak. So yeah, that's right, Russell. He didn't die. I actually like the Book of Boba Fett. I wish they made him more ruthless. I know. he came down and lived with the Sand People, and all of a sudden he has a big heart like the Grinch. He grew three times bigger that day, and I just think that when you see him in The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, man, he is stone cold, man. He's ruthless. You know, the mercenary is, and he's out for money, and he doesn't care what happens. He's going to get it. The Boba Fett in the Book of Boba Fett was a totally different person. He was, you know, these are my people, and I need to treat them right. And, you know, I mean, when he first got to Jabba's palace, he didn't, you know, he started shooting up the place, but I think the Sand People did soften him up. He fell in love with his this big, you know, sand elephant, whatever those things are called, the banthas. Fell in love with his bantha. But all right, well, I'm going to start wrapping it up, but I really appreciate everybody showing up just for this impromptu Star Wars talk. Russell, Joe, Texas Ranger, Yeah, and everybody else who came by. It was really fun doing this chat. But my voice is going, and Andor season 2 looks incredible. Can't wait. Yep, I'm gonna watch it. I'll probably have some live watches with it. So hopefully y'all come by and watch it with me. We'll try to do it on the day it drops. But thanks again, everybody who came by and showed up for the live stream. I really appreciate it, and I had fun. I'm going to try to do more of these, maybe once a week. So y'all have a great evening, and come to our movie tonight. I might not be talking as much, but come to our movie Blink Twice with me and Steve. It's at 10 o'clock Central. And yeah, me too. But it's tonight, 10 o'clock. I get off tracked. Squirrel. Anyway, tonight at 10 o'clock, we're going to watch Blink Twice with Channing Tatum. I forget his name. It's one of those. Anyway, it looks really good. And I hope to see you there. And shout out. All right, guys. Talk to you later.